welcome everybody here. Okay, now, I don't know if you know about PubTalks. What on earth is PubTalks? Thank you. Public speaking club. Public speaking, where do we speak in public? Is public speaking just for big audiences, or what do you think is public speaking all about?
Can be done anywhere.
Say again?
Can be done
anywhere. Anywhere, absolutely anywhere. Yeah. So you can do public speaking in a meeting, you can do public speaking in a sport environment, you can do public speaking anywhere. So it is open for anyone, and you can use it anywhere. So tonight what we are going to do here is the following. I just want to, can somebody turn off the, is there somebody who knows how to turn off sound? She does, thank you so much. Otherwise, I'm going to have to talk louder, and she's going to have to talk louder, and he's going to have to talk louder. And yeah, thank you. Sounds good. Okay, what we're going to do tonight is the following. We're going to have two speakers, and they're going to give us a fantastic talk about being 20. Is that right? Sort of in your 20s, what you do in your 20s. So they're going to do that. I'm going to have a short talk about that, and then if you want to say something, you're welcome to say something. So this is what open mic means. Now tonight is the last public speaking club or PubTalk for this semester. Next semester we start again, and we're going to do something really, really great next semester. Do you know TED Talks? Yeah, you know TED Talks. Okay, anyone else? TED Talks? Never heard of it? I'm sure you have. TED Talks. And next year we're going to have one in English here as well. So, great things. Okay, first, I'm going to introduce to you a wonderful lady. She is from Chongwon. Yeah. Did I say it right? Chongwon. No. Chongwon. Okay, you've heard it, Chongwon. And Chongwon is in China. Where's that? It's near Busan. Yeah, of course it's near Busan. Kim Yunbi, and she's going to speak to us first. Give her a big hand. Speak to us today.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. I would like to, before I start, I would like to thank you for having me tonight. This is great pleasure and honor to be here. This really means a lot to me because I've listened to PubTalks ever since it started, and I've never imagined myself standing here as a speaker. So I'm really nervous and excited at the same time. So when I got the text message from Professor Johan asking, would you like to speak at PubTalk? I was really excited. I thought, wow, this is a big opportunity. Well, I couldn't say yes right away. I hesitated a bit because first of all, I know there's gonna be a camera filming me. And people say the camera adds 10 pounds, right? So whoever is watching me through the camera, I want you to know that I look much prettier and thinner in real life. And second, I don't feel like I'm qualified enough for this because every speaker in PubTalk was either a professor or a native speaker, or both. But I'm a student and I'm a freshman, which means I'm the least educated person in the room. And English is a foreign language to me, and it's really difficult. And so it took me hours and hours to prepare for this speech. So I kept thinking, am I even qualified? Am I even allowed to do this? But despite all those hesitations, I decided to be a speaker tonight because there's something I want to say to you about learning English. You, you see, being able to speak English well has always been my dream. I think it really expands the world that I could see, but I didn't know how. Although I've studied English for more than 10 years now, all I've learned was memorizing grammars and vocabularies without understanding. They didn't teach me how to use it, so being unable to speak a single sentence, I got into a university. And things got more depressing. Everybody seems so fluent in English, and professors and companies expected me to have a good English skill. I mean, isn't that unfair? If you want me to be good at English, you should at least give me a chance. But they didn't provide any opportunity to study English. They just wanted me to be a master of English in one night. So yeah, it found out people ask, what did you do for 20 years of your life? So in such circumstances, I lost my interest and willingness to study English. So I thought my dream of speaking English well will remain as it is, as only a daydream. And then I got into this university, and then when I found out that there are numerous opportunities around here, I was shocked. I mean, OBF, Global Lounge, and PWC, and the GEO Program, my mind was blown. Opportunities were everywhere, waiting for me to take them. But silly me, I was too afraid to take them. Because first of all, like I said in my last speech, I was a typical Korean student who has passive and submissive attitude. And all I can do was following instructions. But in here, no one ordered me to take them. And secondly, I didn't know those were for every English level. When professor encouraged me to try and join them, I just folded my arms and thought, no, that's just for students who are really good at English. It's just not for me. And finally, the biggest obstacle was my personality. I'm pretty quiet and introverted person. And some of you who know me would totally agree with this. And so, to me, talking with people who are not familiar with me, especially foreigners, is the most uncomfortable situation in the world. So whenever foreigners try to start a conversation with me, asking, how are you doing? How is it going? What's up? And I just want to run away. Nothing is going, I gotta go with this. So I think this shows well how introverted I am. So because of these difficulties, last semester I missed my chance by sitting down and doing nothing. And then this semester started. I thought, why would I want those opportunities to be wasted? I mean, I'm young and I got support from professors, and this is something that I've always wanted to study for a long time. So I participated in the speech contest and the essay contest, and visited OBF and PWC and joined this PubTalk. I tried to take as many chances as I can handle, and you know what? It worked. I became more confident about speaking English, and I feel more active as a student. Some would say that's nothing, but to me, that was really, really big step, and I'm proud of myself. And also, I found out that even if I fail, or even if I say something silly, people will understand. They wouldn't judge me because I'm a student or studying English as a foreign language. So, I think this is a privilege of being young and being a student. So now I want to take more opportunities. And yes, I might fail again, or I might embarrass myself like before. But hey, I've got cool excuses, right? So that was a brief explanation of my on and off relationship with English. So here's what I want to say university to myself and to students who are like me. In my opinion, the UK is the best university to study English in Korea. English-related education and activities are well established here. No university encourages students to study English this much. Trust me, I've studied in another university and there's zero opportunities. So, but in the UK, opportunities are everywhere, and all you need to do is just take it. Just take it. And I know some students take this environment for granted, but I think you should really consider yourself lucky, and you should take every advantage of being a CUK student. CUK student, sorry. Yeah, and if you don't feel that way, try to think about all the tuition you have paid up until now. Anyway, I found out that all those opportunities are not for the student who are really good at English. It's only for the student who are willing to take it. So that was the biggest lesson that I've learned this semester, and I wanted to share with you. So I would like to finish my speech with Wayne Gretzky's famous quote: "You miss 100% of the shot you don't take." Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Wow. Any questions? What questions do you have for her? Yeah, there's a question for you. No, you can just stand there. Yeah, sit there.
Thank you for your speaking, and I heard it very well. And I also do not have any courage in my English speaking, but I want to know what is the important or interesting activity in this OBM class.
In this university,
Yeah, you said to me that EWC writing or speaking with your professor. You said to me a lot of activities, but what is your most interesting activity to you?
definitely speech contest because I applied there. But there are so many opportunities like speech contest, essay contest, debate match, present contest. I think there are many opportunities.
Thank you so much. Okay, it's my pleasure to introduce our second speaker for tonight, and you were a winner, weren't you? But you all were winners in the contest. So what I want to say to you is tonight is not a contest, so it's fine to use your paper or something like that. So absolutely fine. Sante, is that right? Mr. Kim Sante, welcome. Great, give him a big hand.
Okay, thanks for coming at exam period. I expected that this number of people will be here to listen to my speech. I was actually worrying that just a few people will be here, but there's a lot of people. Thank you for coming. And today I was requested to talk about the same topic I did at the speech contest. It was about describing yourself as a young adult with 3 words. You have to pick 3 words to describe yourself as a young adult. Well, this is not a speech contest, so I'll just elaborate in an informal way, a little bit free. So, there's a quote, Joyce Meyer, Christian author. She said that you cannot have a positive life and a negative mind. That means you have to have positive attitudes or positive thinking to have positive outcomes in your life. So I just when I saw this quote, I just totally agreed, 100% agreed, and because when I was since I was young, when I was like 3 years old, I have this thought that I'm a positive person. So let me give you an example. When I was 3 years old, I fell down from the stairs because I was just like playing around, and just fell down. And according to what my mother said, the injury was severe because she said she could almost see my bones coming out from the wound, the forehead. So I was like bleeding a lot, and I had to go to the hospital immediately. So we grabbed a taxi and went for the hospital. But she said that I was too positive. She almost thought I was crazy because I was just like laughing and like checking myself in the mirror because I thought I looked cool when I was 3 years old. So what I want to say is that, what I want to tell you is that I want to urge people in this room to have positive minds when living your life as 20s, 30s, or 40s, and ever after. The 3 words I introduced at the speech contest, I'm just gonna say it quickly. It's magma. When you think of magma, what do you think of magma? Hot. And yeah, red. It's about like passion, or I put this way. It's unpredictable, and basically you don't know when the magma will erupt, right? So I just think that I have those magnetic characteristics in myself. Let me give you an example. I believe that I have magnetic characteristics in myself. I'll give you an example. Basically, when you see me, I'm short, right? I'm really short. But I play basketball. I'm in the Pagun. It's like a Korean word for basketball. Basket. And I'm in that club. I play basketball. But still I'm short. But I believe that I can one day play like James Deveolped. No James Deveolped. I just believe, I can shoot the 3-pointers with my eyes closed. And I have this belief in myself since I was born. I can put this way. Okay, second word was yes. I can put myself as a yes man. When you think, do you know the movie Yes Man? I forgot the actor's name. Oh, Jim Carrey. He was the actor for that movie. And why I say I'm a yes man is because when I get challenges and opportunities that may be hard to accomplish, but I just tell yes first and then do whatever it takes to accomplish the thing. Let me give you an example. When you see me, do I look young or old? Guess how old I am. Guess. You know. Do you know? I'm in Korean age. I'm 24. I finished my military duty at Korean Air Force. After that, it's been 3 months. I just finished my military duty, and it was complete chaos when I finished my military duty because I had no time to adjust to social life outside because the military life is really different from the real life, right? And I had 5 days to adjust because I finished my military duty. And before the opening of the new semester, 5 days before the opening semester. And I had no time, and I had this opportunity about interpreting at International Games. Basically, I worked at the airport for customs. I translated and interpreted for the players coming to Korea and showing the way what they have to do at the airport. The problem was that I had to take classes at daytime, right? From September, right? I had to take classes, and at the same time I had to go to work at 10 p.m. and finish my work at 7 in the morning for every single day for 1 month. So, do you get the picture? I have no time to sleep for a month. I just slept 30 minutes and get up and work, and then 30 minutes. That was the routine. And when I first saw that notice about the job, I was just terrified. But I was really intrigued by the salary wage they gave me. I learned. I cannot tell you, but I learned a lot. I almost received a tuition fee for 1 semester. I worked for a month and then received, and that was a good opportunity. Anyway, I was not that afraid of not getting sleep, but I just said yes and went forward, and that was an example of being myself as a yes man. And the last word was forward. When you think of forward, it's like going forward, like moving like this, right? And then why I tell him that, sorry, I forgot the example I used at the speech contest. Anyway, I don't look back. I just like go forward. It's like really related to the word yes, and it shows me that I'm positive, right? I just go forward no matter what the obstacles are, no matter what it takes to use systems, and then that shows me I'm a positive person. And as I'm given this opportunity to speak in front of these beautiful, handsome people, I just want to tell you that be positive at any times. Like, don't be afraid of obstacles. You will overcome no matter how difficult it is. Just like believe in yourself, you can do it. Like, let's say you have an exam tomorrow and you're all here, but you're still gonna make it, you're still gonna pass. Like, believe in yourself and be positive. Like, try today. And that's for today. That's my speech. I hope you enjoyed listening, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Sante. Any questions? What questions you have?
Thank you for your speech. What I want to ask is that you said you go forward, right? You don't look back.
Yeah.
Does it mean that you don't regret?
Yeah, I don't regret at all. I may have. I may make mistakes, or I may have made mistakes, but I'm satisfied with what I've done up till now, and I don't look back. I just always think about the future, what I can accomplish based on my failure or success in the past.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Okay. What other questions do you have?
Any questions?
Good. Okay, right. We had two really good speakers, and it was very inspiring. Don't you think? Yeah? Okay, I want to do a short talk just to close off this one, and to end off our pub talks. During the speech contest, you actually spoke about if you were in your 20s. Now, let me just get this going. Yeah. I just want to tell you something about when I was in my 20s. Now, I still feel as if I'm still in my 20s. I might not look like that. Thank you, Nathan. But I was a dreamer. And this is one thing that I can remember being young, dreaming. I was a lone child. Who of you is the only child? Only one child in the house. No? All brothers and sisters? You all? I had 3 brothers, but they were all much older than me. So I grew up actually alone, and I was a dreamer. As a dreamer, I was very shy. So in school, I used to sit right at the back, right in the corner. I never want anyone to see me. I mean, if anyone just looks at me, don't look at me, I'm not here. So I was really bad. I had my own dream world. I drank a lot. And sometimes I drank too much. So, as I grew older, things changed and so on. I became less active just in dreaming, but the dream still went on. What I actually want to tell you tonight is, don't stop dreaming. And don't limit dreams to just what can happen. Don't limit your dreams. It's like something, it's like a bird with wings. Don't limit. So when I got older, much older, I started reading the books of Paulo Coelho. You know Paulo Coelho? The Alchemist? Yeah, you know this book? Of course you know the book. Yeah. And there's something in this book that really made me reflect on my own life as a dreamer. Because I had all these wonderful things when I was growing up as a child. I had all these wonderful things. Paulo Coelho says, when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. And when I read this, I said, yes, that's what happened. And this is what still is happening. So, I grew up in a small city. At that point, it was really a small city. It was called Petersburg. Now it's called Polokwane. And it was in the far north of South Africa. Now, this is South Africa, and Polokwane is right there. So, the closest real city to our city was Pretoria, the capital, and Johannesburg, of course, the biggest city in South Africa. So I was a real country boy, growing up there, and I thought it was the biggest place in the world. I always told everyone that my city is such a wonderful, big place until I came to another city, and I thought, okay, well, it's not so big. But I dreamed big. And there were a few things that I always had in my mind. I want to do this, and I want to do that. So my life, if I just look back on my life, is this lots of dreams that came true that I actually had nothing to do with. It happened because maybe what Paulo Coelho says is true. When you really want something so badly, the universe conspires in bringing that to you. If your dreams are limited, your world is limited. If your dreams are just about possibilities, then possibilities will happen. But if your dreams are about impossibilities, it just opens the door, or the doors to impossibilities that can happen. And so when I say these things to you, it's not in the least to boast or say, well, I'm such a good guy. No, not in the least. What I want to say to you is dreams come true. So I had two big dreams. I wanted to do two things. And the first thing is, I grew up in an environment where there were churches. I mean, on a Sunday morning, just to give you an idea, right across our house was a Catholic church. 2 towers and 2 clocks. On the next corner was the Reformed church, the big clock tower. On the other corner was another Reformed church. Behind us was the synagogue. On the other part was the Methodist church, and then the Baptist church and the Apostolic church. And we were surrounded, just where I lived, I was surrounded by 10 churches. And on a Sunday morning, all the churches had bells. So no sleep late on a Sunday morning. They all start ringing at the same time. And they all want you there. So on a Sunday morning, I went to church. Later, so I had this thing in church. So I grew up halfway in church. So later on, I became a pastor. So we went to church very often. Sunday morning, Sunday evening, Wednesday evening, Friday evening, Saturday evening. So I grew up halfway in church. So I always wanted to be a pastor. So I became a pastor. This was one of the churches that I preached in. That was my first congregation that I was in this town. This wasn't the congregation, but I was in this town. And it's a beautiful town named George. But my other love was music. As a young child, I listened to classical music, can you believe it? As a 10-year-old, I knew Mozart and I knew Beethoven. And I read all all the stories about the great classical composers. And so, on the other hand, I wanted to be somewhere in music. But that was a dream. I always saw myself somewhere in a theatre. So it was a church and a theatre and all of that. The other place that I grew up in a church, so halfway in the church. The other place that I grew up in was in a library. My father was a reader. He read about this pack of books every single week. We got our first television when I was about 18, 17 years old. Our first television, before that my father just said, why do you want a television? You've got books. What do you want to do with a television? So we got our first television when I was 17 years old. And I thought it was the most wonderful thing in the world. But I grew up with books, so I love books. Okay, keep that in mind. So books make you dream. Television don't make you dream. Read books. It make you dream very, very big. Okay, so I came into I became a pastor, I was ordained. And then, with a stroke of luck, I ended up in a very small congregation. Now, I studied theology, and then after theology, when I was in the army, I had lots of time. So I started to study at the opera school in Pretoria. So I just loved that. I did that as a hobby. So when I moved to Durban, I came into this very small congregation. They had 2 pastors to pay, and of course I was the youngest, they didn't pay me, and so I had to work. And the place that I got a job was with this orchestra, the KZN Philharmonic Orchestra. And wow, lots of the dreams I had just came true, because I never ever thought of working for an orchestra like that. I was in the publicity part, I was coordinating all the publicity for this orchestra. And with that, I met some of the most amazing people in the world that just could dream, you can just dream of. My very first publicity task there, we had a World Symphony Series, where we got people from some of the main stars in the classical world. We got there. My first job actually was to do publicity for this woman, Montserrat Caballé. You know Montserrat Caballé? She sang with Freddie Mercury. And they did she sang Barcelona. That was many years ago. So my first job was for her publicity, and it was amazing. It was fantastic. Because the people that I did publicity for, I met them, I had to tour with them, I had to escort them, I had to do all kinds of things with them. The second is James Galway. James Galway's birthday today. He's 75 years today. He is one of the best flutists in the world, and this is his wife, Jean. And I had the fantastic opportunity just to tour with him and to be with him for a while, to escort him and so on. So, what I'm telling you is just simply this. Those are things that I could just dream of. When I was a young boy, I listened to their music, and I admired them. I could never dream of meeting these people, going with them, sitting with them in a very informal situation, and talk to them. That was just my God. This was a theatre that I worked in, the Playhouse Theatre. And I knew this theatre later like my own house, because it was fantastic working there. It's one of the most beautiful theatres I think that I've ever seen. And then the other thing, during that time, I was always interested in radio. But there was no opportunity. I never studied communication, I never studied anything like that. But I was sort of forced into that. One day I went with one of the artists to the SABC, that is our local broadcasting company. And the guy that I met there became a friend later on. And he asked me, would you like to have your program, your own program? Would you like to have a program slot? And doing arts news from Durban. And that was a national radio. I said, wow, okay, fine. And I did a weekly program, prime time. And the first time that I was behind a microphone, I made such a boo-boo. I made such a lot of mistakes. I can't believe it. If I think of that, it was just incredible. But it was such a wonderful thing. I got addicted to that. And I did radio work for a very long time. And then, yeah, that's it. And then I was always interested in politics, somehow. But, I mean, politicians are there, I'm here. This is the former president of South Africa, F.W. de Klerk, and this is his wife. And once again, through some way that I never could have imagined, I met her. She wrote a book, and she asked me to do PR for her when she visited Durban. And so I got to know her very well. We became friends. She was very brutally murdered a few years ago. It was very tragic. But before that, we really became good food and friends. And then, this is our current president. Somehow, through all of that, I got to write a speech for this guy. And I got to know many of the ANC ministers and what they do. It's not that I'm that good, absolutely not. But that is just a dream. And suddenly, the doors open. The universe, whatever you want to call that, open all those wonderful dreams for you. So, what I want to tell you, and I can tell you many, many more of these stories. Once again, it's about don't limit your dreams to possibilities. Dream. This is also one of the quotes from The Alchemist. It's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life more interesting. Don't limit your dreams. There's only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure. And you're going to fail. That's simple. You always fail forward, never backwards. If you fail backwards, you roll down the hill. If you fail forward, you climb the mountain, you climb the tree. And then the last. And this is one thing that I want to leave you with. Just before I came to Korea, I was doing doctoral studies, and I was very, very fortunate to work in an old age home. And I did counseling there. I later majored in counseling. And at counseling then, many of the people that I did counseling with were people that were dying. So I had to be there for their last moments. And this is one thing that most of them told me. If I only had dreamed more, only used the time more wisely. And this is when it boils down to one day you will wake up. There won't be any more time to do the things you've always wanted to do now. So take every opportunity. Dream wild. Dream big. Dream outside your own limits, outside possibilities. And somehow, in 20, 30 years' time from now, 30 years ago, I was where you are now. I mean, think what can happen. Don't think what's possible. Just think, just dream. And the universe conspire to make those dreams realities and adventures. Thank you. Any questions?
Do you have a dream now?
I always have dreams. I never stop dreaming. And I have these wild things that are going on in my mind, but somehow somewhere there's a way. It just happens.
What is the biggest dream you have? Biggest thing
Biggest dream is possibly whenever I had to go back to South Africa to maybe open some institute or something to apply my abilities there. Yeah, so nice. I'm going to travel the world. What dreams do you have? Yeah? Okay, any other questions? Thank you. Great. I'm pretty sure that you all are very, very hungry now. Guys, please, thank you for coming. There's lots for you to eat. Please don't go without having a pizza. And thank you for our two speakers. Please come here. And please give them a huge, big hand. Good. And I hope to see every one of you next semester. Come join PubTalk. It's fun. Thank you.